Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
You just told your story downstairs. Can you please give us a brief summary again?
Okay, I talked about the 2008 immigration raid at the meatpacking plant in Postville, Iowa, and I discussed what Postville was like before the raid, exactly what happened during the raid, and then how things have changed since the raid. And then my colleague over there helped talk about some of the resettling processes that we've gone through and some of the healing processes that have happened since the raid for our community.
Yeah, can you like
Like,
give a brief,
more?
more of the story so that people can understand what you are talking about? Because this is a community conversation.
Right.
The story needs to be clear to the people.
Okay.
Just a brief summary.
It's such a hard thing to do briefly.
I know it's
really hard.
you can just summarize the main points, like what is your story striving talking about?
Okay. In May of 2008, there was the largest workplace immigration raid ever happened in Postville, Iowa, which is a tiny town of about 2,500 people. And in that raid, they arrested, I think, 389 undocumented immigrants, many of whom were immediately deported, some of whom were let out with GPS ankle bracelets to care for their families. And it really caused a lot of difficulty community-wide for all of us. We lost a huge portion of employees, our neighbors, families. Many children were separated from their homes. So it really created difficulty in all areas of life within the community of Postville. And moving forward from then has created new barriers. And for me, the thing that I most take out of our story in Postville is hope and strength and courage and the human ability to band together under extreme circumstances, even when we don't want to. I think we learn through this that when a situation is extreme enough, even those who don't want to will come together to create a solution.
Okay.
So, is that better?
Yeah, that is
Thank you.
is perfect. What did you learn about your story when you told your story down to the audience? What did you learn from them?
Yeah. This is a story that I've told many, many times to different audiences, and so telling it wasn't a new experience for me, but getting feedback from each individual was. And the thing that I learned that really stood out to me was how differently one story told by one person can inspire different people. We had many people in our group, and each one of them had a different insight and a different direction that they were taking with that. And I realized that if I had a conversation with each individual, they would have been 7 very different conversations. And I think that's really inspiring to see how one story can go so many different directions depending on how you look at it.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very nice story. And the last question, which message would you like to deliver to the people about immigration or whatsoever in the United States?
Ooh, I could talk about that for hours. I think if I needed to give a quick message, it would be that we are all human, that we all have hopes and dreams and goals, and that there's nothing wrong with taking positive steps toward those goals. And I think that as humans, we need to recognize that in each other and allow each other the opportunities to do that.
Thank
And
you.
it shouldn't matter where you live.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking your time in this community conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.